AB squared.
We're going to talk about the A's and B's of K-pop.
This is going to be episode 7. Yeah. We have a lot of news bonuses. I don't know what qualifies a bonus to the episode, but...
I just said they're all content.
Yeah, that's true. We've had a little desert of a content for a little bit. Mike mentioned on the meeting tonight we needed to up our content.
Oh, yeah, okay. Thanks, Mike.
I know.
Paying attention.
Yeah, he must love what we do. We have not had schedules that converge.
Right, because it's summer. And
yeah,
you work really hard during the summer, and I take a lot of naps.
No, you take vacations.
Well, we were going to talk, we were saying maybe we should record in the morning, and I was like, well, no drinking if we record at 10 a.m., so...
That seems bad.
Aimee B made it work to record tonight, so the soju is flowing.
I'm going to say, the last 2 bonus episodes, I think that I decided that I'm going to make a commitment to drink slower.
Okay.
Did you watch them?
I thought they were both delightful.
They were, but I was a little too...
You were a little tipsy.
I was.
That's fun, though.
I got off topic, which I'm sober doing that. Okay, right. Here's our topic tonight for the A's and B's of K-pop.
Let's hear it.
I had to think for a second. Backtracks,
Yeah.
lipsync,
Yeah.
Autotune.
Yeah.
That is the topic for this discussion.
Okay.
So when I tell you BTS Autotunes, what do you say?
I say, no, they don't. That's ridiculous. But then you said that one time, and so
You
I
said
started
liar.
paying attention. Yeah, I started paying attention, and why don't you say your position first, and then I'll do a defense.
What is this, high school debate?
Yeah. Yes, I would like to stick up for BTS after you make your...
I'm the affirmative, you're the negative. Okay.
Right.
What I find fascinating is this idea that maybe I'm projecting, I am projecting, our cultural ideas that are surrounding that to Korea that may have a totally different norm around that. An acceptance level, which I guess is fine. But I find it interesting when I say it, your initial reaction is like, you liar. Because you understand, and here in the U.S., I mean, think about like Milli Vanilli. Like, they didn't even sing. Oh my God, that was such a scandal. And that one Simpson girl, the sister on SNL.
Jessica Simpson's little sister, Ashley.
Ashley, who got caught lip-syncing and then did
SNL.
some weird,
did a little jig.
Hillbilly jig thing.
Right.
So, in my day, because I'm old, the mark of if you were a good musician was like how you performed live. You could still do stuff in the studio, not as much as you can now, but you couldn't do it live. So if you really sucked live, then everybody kind of knew that you sucked in general. So it was like how you performed live. And I never expect a band to sound like their studio.
Yeah.
Ever. Like, and the fact that they don't, I'm like, oh, this is because you're really getting their talent. So the auto-tune in K-pop is pervasive, and perhaps it's accepted in the Korean culture, and I don't know, and that's okay.
So my question is, how do you know?
How do I know it's
auto-tune?
Hear it? Oh yeah, you hear it.
Okay, you hear it. Okay.
So you hear it. Well, pay attention. So there's a really good YouTube channel you might benefit from, called Wings of Pegasus, and it's Phil here, and he's in the UK, and he has some equipment that he can visually show you on a bar graph.
Oh.
Boom. But you hear it.
Okay.
And when they hit the note, and then the auto-tune kicks in, and it's taking them on the note. A normal voice is always around the note. It's very seldom. It might hit it for a second, but it fluctuates. And so when you're listening, and you hear these guys really belting, and they hit a note, and then it just stays. It's totally auto-tuned.
So, the first time I heard auto-tune, I feel like maybe it was Kanye West, and Cher also had a song, Do You Believe in Love? That has a ton of auto-tune in it, right? So that was kind of like the first time I remember hearing it. Okay?
Sure, I have a lot of pitch correction in that,
So
which
then,
is a little different, but that's a no-no here in the U.S. That's like we frown on that.
well, okay, so I remember Madonna saying, Madonna was really hard on Britney Spears because Madonna was like, no, I was dancing and singing. And she's not a great singer. She's not known to be a great singer.
Britney or
Her
Madonna?
song- Madonna, but both of them.
Both.
But then Madonna was like, I was at least really singing. And Britney Spears has never not lip synced a song. But Britney Spears is dancing pretty hard, and she's not known as a great vocalist anyway. Like that's not her strength really. Like she's a show, that's a show, you know. I remember that argument, and then I think when you listen, the rap line, they do a lot, and Suga, because he's also a producer, they do a lot of like distorted sounds too, because that's part of the effect that they're trying to come up with. But then I feel like Jimin, when his album came out, Face, he said he's like, I have 30 seconds of auto-tune in my song, and now everyone thinks I can't sing. And he did make that comment. And there's like a lot of distortion in his voice in some of the songs. And you can for sure hear it, but it seems like it's part of it.
Jimin, I think you can sing. That's partly why I believe that you barely auto-tune. But partly I would think is like K-pop artists had more faith in themselves, but it's also the stupid companies who force it. So stupid companies should go away. But I think that they should have more faith in themselves, and I don't know if the Korean audiences expect it to sound like the soundtrack. But here, and at least for my generation in the US, when you realize it's live, you love it even more.
Yeah.
Love it even more.
When I saw Suga in concert, there was a backing track for sure. Mm-hmm. And so when he was rapping, he wasn't doing all the words. Maybe he'd do the accent words or just some of them. And you know, like, and Jungkook's songs are like he sings his own backing tracks.
Yeah.
So he can't do it all. So some of those riffs,
that was
those
with
vocal
Queen.
riffs.
Queen never had backup singers.
Did they? So what did they do?
They in the studio, he would overlay
So when you
all
when
their
you hear
voices. So that's why when they would perform Bohemian Rhapsody live, they put up the video for the opera part because they couldn't produce that live.
Yeah. So
I
there's
totally
like, and
get that.
so when you're watching JK and he's dancing and singing and rapping,
But
it's not. It's like it's clear that it's not all him.
But look at them, Queen, because Queen is literally the best rock band that ever existed. And Freddie Mercury, I will argue to the death on this, is one of the best singers.
I haven't even seen his biopic.
Freddie Mercury?
Yeah, the
biopic?
Yeah, like the new movie that was the Queen movie.
The movie that's not new? Years ago?
Rami Malek?
Rami Malek?
Rami Malek?
Doesn't matter. So they didn't have backup singers, and in the studio, they backtracked on their own all the time.
Yeah.
But live, they mixed it up, so you didn't miss it, because they reorganized the song so that it was amazing live, and you didn't feel like it lost anything.
Okay.
So I'm wondering if there is a expectation from the Korean culture that their performances sound like the studio version.
So are you saying that they auto-tune in the studio for their recordings?
They auto-tune in the studio and they auto-tune live.
Mm-hmm. Okay, here's the other thing that makes me the expert on this. I love them. I love BTS so much.
I know.
And so on Weavers, JK has been doing lives a lot lately where he either sings into a microphone, and when he's doing that, like he sets the microphone on echo, you know how you can do, like echo or tuning or whatever, but he also just sings without a microphone. He just sings, and he's got a beautiful voice, and he's hitting those notes.
Jungkook has an amazing voice, and he has perfect pitch.
That's what they say.
But that perfect pitch does not mean you hit the note and stay on it. And he can sing live great. That's the thing, is like when you hear him sing live and it's not auto-tuned, you're like, oh my god, that kid can sing.
Yeah.
So why does the company do that?
I don't know. What other, do you think that like Super Junior's doing that?
Oh fuck yeah.
And
Sorry.
EXO?
SM. I don't know. I just like SM a lot. But SM is notorious. They auto-tune their artists like crazy. And then so when they're performing live and they're doing all the dancing, they have a backtrack. And I'm like, why? The difference between, say, Britney Spears, and I remember Janet Jackson controversy when she got caught lip syncing, was her big thing too, one of her
I'm just
tours.
dancing, come on.
Was, they're single. They're like, well, I guess Madonna. I don't know, I never saw her live. But, one person, they're doing all this dancing, and then...
Did you see Janet Jackson live?
No.
Oh,
I'm sorry, my dog might bark. Don't do it.
I didn't see Britney live either.
No,
yeah,
I
will though.
Well, I don't want to see Britney. She looks funny now. Too much plastic surgery. Okay, now what was I
Madonna
saying?
you're talking about.
Both of them.
Britney
They
Spears
don't
is
look right.
gorgeous. She's beautiful, young.
Oh, they're beautiful, but they were beautiful before. Now what was I saying?
Okay, they were one. So you remember?
Oh, so they were. Their argument is like they're dancing, they're exerting themselves, they can't sing. But your K-pop bands, there's 7 in BTS, 8, 9 in Super Junior. They're not all singing constantly. So they can dance and have their bits. Super Junior does this a little bit more than, BTS will just dance full on out the whole time. Super Junior will have little breaks where then the person singing kind of walks to the front and takes a little breather and stuff. But I feel like you don't need a backtrack, and you don't need auto-tune. And if you're imperfect, that's what makes your live performance so much more special.
Right. Well, did you listen to RM's new album, Indigo? Because RM he's a rapper, not a singer, but he's got a lot of singing. And when I've seen him, I've seen him live a couple of times now. But when I've seen him just singing on videos where they're like on Run BTS or something, he's not a great singer. And I know that when he makes the guide tracks for when he writes, because he writes a lot of the songs, including the melodies. And so he'll sing it, but then he'll auto-tune the guide track. So JK can hear the note that it's supposed to be when JK has to sing.
That's fine.
Yeah, that's fine with me too. I love them, and I want to see them live. I don't care if it's a backing track. Oh, the other thing I remember, do you remember when MTV was doing Unplugged? And I think it seems possible that LL Cool J was the first rapper that they had do Unplugged. And they're like, can rappers do acoustic music? Can they do live music? Can they do acoustic music? Because it was so kind of produced back then, and it was kind of surprising how different it was. I kind of remember that. Oh, R.I.P. Sinead O'Connor.
She died?
Today? She's only 56. She's not that old. But her son just passed away 18 months ago. So she was a bit devastated from that. So the last message she left is that I miss my son and I loved him and he was my world. So that's sad. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to break your heart live on camera. I love Sinead O'Connor. Did you like her?
Died. Sure.
Yeah. She was big. I remember when she won the VMAs. So anyway, yeah.
So
a lot of the stuff has changed, but
you don't care because you love them. You love them blindly.
I don't believe it's pervasive. I think when they're performing and dancing, they've got backing tracks. I think that's true.
I just saw 2 examples.
Okay.
Super Junior just did a fan thing in Manila, and they sang a song called My Wish on one of their previous albums, most recent, that I really, really, really like. So they were standing still because it's kind of a slower song.
Yeah.
4 of them on one side, 4 of them on the other side, and they were standing still, and then they sang their parts, and then it came time to the chorus, and the side that the video was on, just these 4 didn't sing a thing, and but it was all of them, and I'm like, why you're standing there? Why aren't you all singing the chorus? What's the point?
They missed their cue to lip sync?
No, the backtrack took over, so it was why aren't you singing all the chorus together? Because you're not dancing, you're standing there. Then I saw a video of Blackpink, and this is going to be another.
Blackpink, exactly.
Is on Coachella, a video, and I was like, okay, we'll talk about our next episode is going to be female K-pop because I have a lot to say about that. But so I picked up this song shut down because
Yeah.
Gaho did it, and I mentioned that in one of my awards. So I was like, okay, they're totally lip syncing. Totally lip syncing. It was so obvious. And then the rap part came on, and they went live. And they sounded fine.
Yeah.
Like, why did they lip sync half of the damn song?
I don't think they're singers. I don't think they were hired to be singers. I don't think they spent any resources trying to get better as singers.
I don't know about that, but it was like,
in particular.
I was like, oh yeah.
Because we'll talk about more about girl groups.
Honestly, I live for judgment, so I judge you harshly when you lip sync and when you use backtracks and autotune. Don't do it. You don't need it. Because you guys were trainees usually for a long time and you can sing, or if you're a rap line, nobody expects you to sing great, so don't sing. But honestly, just stop. But then I think, am I putting a US value on a Korean culture, which is no good? I don't want to do that. And then should I just accept that that's how they want it? I don't know. And the stupid company.
I am here to be loving, and I love BTS, and I just feel like I'm going to give them every benefit of the doubt. They seem like they're singing.
Judgment?
If they say they're singing, they're singing. I love them.
She loves.
Loves.
Okay, but if they say like, hey, I wasn't autotuned, I'm going to believe them.
Yeah, he said that.
Then I believe it. It's on songs where I'm like, oh God, that is autotuned. They're not saying, hey, that wasn't autotuned.
Right.
But I just am like, why are you autotuned? I think it is interesting though that your initial reaction is defensive because you do understand the US mindset
I have the value
about this particular topic.
I felt like when you said that, I was like, rude.
And I'm
because
not,
Ashley Simpson, it took a lot of crap about it. Britney Spears, you know what I mean? It's not the measure of a great
frowned
musician.
upon here in the US, and I am stuck in that particular judgment. So I will judge, you will blindly love, and that's great. We balance each other out.
Perfect.
I still love BTS. I still love Super Junior. I just get a little in it. And then, but the fact that you actually deny it and say I'm a liar,
right.
you know.
I understand you.
I'm not lying. Okay. They're doing it. So it's like you hear a song, you're like, oh, that song is really good. That is so auto-tuned. I don't know how great that song could be.
But then when you go to the concert, you know all the songs too. They don't do some weird thing to it. You know what I mean? Like, don't you hate, you kind of hate, like, when you go to hear the band's best song and then it's weird, like they did something weird to it? You hate that.
No, I don't.
You're not going to get that at Kpop. They're playing their best favorite songs in the way you know.
I don't hate that because I still know the song and I can still sing along with it.
Listen.
And I feel like, especially if you're singing the same song for years, you gotta mix it up just for yourself. Let alone, like, I can see, like, oh, that was a good arrangement. That was interesting. Now, if you're live, I like it when you sing live because it gives it flavor and it gives it character and it makes it original for that time.
So the reason for the clip that we want to include in this show is let's include Fix You, the BTS cover of Fix You, because that was the one that I said, oh, it's so beautiful, and you're like, oh, it's so auto-tuned.
I said it is beautiful, it's totally auto-tuned. And you said,
so why don't you guys listen and see?
We did it once because it was on the video. Okay, we're going to wrap it up. I had a rant.
Okay.
What's your word?
Okay, Gwenchana. That means it will be fine. Gwenchana.
Yeah.
Gwenchana. It'll be fine, it'll be fine, it'll be okay.
I literally had the phrase in my head, and I now can't remember it. Okay, well, I don't remember.
Speak slower.
I don't remember is Gyoki Anna.
Gyoki Anna.
You say Gyoki Anna, yo.
Gyoki Anna, yo.
Then I'll remember my next one. Okay, musical words. Do you have a topic? I do.
Okay, let's hear it.
Okay, so this is, I think, a topic that we should have recurring.
Okay.
What is a new song you're listening to? It doesn't have to be a new release. It could just be new to you. What's a new song you're listening to?
Oh my gosh. 7 by Jungkook.
I walked into that.
It's so good. It's also like, the first time I listened to it, I was like, I don't really like that much. my kids said the same thing. I don't really like that much. But then the more I listen to it, the more performance videos I watch or dance videos, I'm like, this song kicks.
I might have to listen to it more because I think it's just okay.
Yeah.
But I fully, I don't like all their individual stuff. I don't even like all their group stuff. But I fully support their exploration of their own voice.
Yeah. So
I
you go,
have
JK. What do you listen to?
two that I want to say. So one is Bite Me by Enhypen.
Sounds
That's
rude.
my first Enhypen song. And I've actually been reading the Hangul and I've got the chorus almost memorized. It's like I read it, the part that's in Korean.
Yeah.
And then I listen and I'm like, are they saying what I read? I'm like, it sounds different. I guess it's a good exercise. I really like this song. Bite Me by Enhypen and Jump by P1 Harmony. And
I've never even heard of P1 Harmony.
Yes, I have another one of their songs.
What company are they from?
Oh, I don't know their company.
Oh, we don't know.
They're young. They're both very young. Oh, I looked up Enhypen and there's, I can't remember, 5 or 7, maybe 7. But when they debuted in 2020, like in the middle of the pandemic, the youngest member was 40.
Oh my gosh, they're so young.
So he's like 17 now. He was 14.
So cute. Way to go.
So they're babies, and I think that's fine that they're babies. Those are my 2 cents, those are my words. We'll put them in the description below. Annyeong.
Annyeong.